Hello everyone, welcome back to this channel named Inside Angle and to the third episode of this series named Upper Edge for CA Final. I am Devesh Arplani. I secured an All India rank 13 in the CA Fan July 21 exams and an All India rank 6 in the CA Inter May 18 exams. And in the subject of SFM, I secured 87 marks in the July 2021 attempt. So this video is to share my study strategy and approach towards the subject of paper 2, strategic financial management. So let's just get started. I'll divide this video into three parts. The first being when to study, how much time to give to the subject of SFM. The second part would be about the resources or the materials to be used, and the third part is supposed to be the tips, the pro tips or the general suggestions that I would like to give you all in terms of the approach that you should be following for the subject of SFM. So first of all, starting with the first part, that is how much time to give to SFM. So as stated in the earlier videos as well, I feel SFM could be either the first or the second subject to start with in terms of your lectures in the first year of your articleship. The lectures would be anywhere between 200 and 250 hours or so. So starting, doing SFM in the first year benefits you because, there's not really something that you feel you'll forget in the subject of SFM, and it doesn't really have a scope of changes. So it is relatively a safer option to go with first. Now, once you're done with the lectures or even simultaneously with the lectures, it is very much preferable to at least get a self-understanding of the subject. मतलब आप यहाँ तो फिर अपने साइड से पूरा एक बार SFM पढ़ सकते हो along with the lectures या फिर lectures के बाद, or else at least go through what has been taught in the lectures, so that it's not that because in subjects like forex and derivatives, which are very conceptual in nature, you will need to have that self-understanding as well. You cannot bank upon the fact that faculty ने बोल दिया और आपके अंदर घुस गया. It is not going to happen that way. So आपको अपने साइड से एक बार सेल्फ स्टडी करना पड़ेगा along with the lectures or post the lectures. It could simply also mean going through the notes that your faculty has made you write. It could simply mean that way. The purpose is only to get that self-understanding. You may or may not practice sums for this time, but then the purpose is to get that self-understanding. So the lectures 200 to 250 hours anywhere. I think it should not take you more than 3 months. That is supposed to be the lectures. Now talking about the first reading, again, like I said, it is preferable to get done with the subject for once. At the time of your lectures, or else at least before the leaves, try going through the subject once to have that self-understanding. ताकि आप जब लीव में जाओ, स्टडी लीव्स में जाओ, तो आपके दिमाग में वो फोबिया ना रहे कि आपको कंसेप्चुअल अंडरस्टैंडिंग नहीं है या फिर आपने लेक्चर्स बहुत पहले देखे थे. So for the other subjects like SFM and FR, you would want that there is no phobia in your head before you go for your study leaves, and you kind of refresh whatever was taught in your lectures. So preferably that is supposed to be done before the study leaves start. Right now, within the study leaves, I would say the first reading should take not more than 10 days. 10 दिन भी मैं ज़्यादा बोल रहा हूँ. It will take lesser than 10 days, but up to 10 days is something that you can think of. Me personally had made like different set of chapters. So I used to not take it chapter wise. I used to take it set wise. So the sets that I used to take and the days that I allocated in the first reading for these particular sets is as follows. So one set was forex and international financial management. You could assign anywhere between 2.5 days in the first reading to these two chapters combined. Next was derivative and interest rate risk management, anywhere between 1.5 to 2 days. So in that case, forex, derivative, international financial management, and interest rate risk management, these 4 chapters should take you about 4 days in total combined. Next set was portfolio and mutual funds. So the total should take you at max up to 2 days. The individual breakups are 1.25 days for portfolio and 0.75 days for mutual funds, or as the case may be. Next again for M&A, that is chapter 13 and 14 of the study material. That is one, coupled with the chapter of security valuation, which is equity and debt both combined. The total of these chapters should take you about 2.5 days. On a higher side, up to between 2.5 days in the first reading, wherein the individual breakups could be M&A should be up to 1 day. That is chapter 12 and 13 should be up to 1 day, and security valuation, that is equity and debt, should take you anywhere between 1 to 1.5 days. So the total of again all of these. So forex derivative, like I said, that set should take you 4 days. Portfolio mutual fund should take you 2 days, which comes to 6, and then 2.5 to 2.5 days for the set of M&A and equity debt. So this comes to 8 to 8.5 days in total. And for theory, ideally it should not take you more than 1 day, but then still on a higher side, you may keep it up to 1.5 days. And I will strongly suggest you keep another 0.5 life day for solving previous attempt RTPs, MTPs, and past papers as well. So totaling it all up, it should take you about 10 days in the first reading. Again, will differ on the basis of your speed. Could be earlier than 10 days as well, but me personally took only about 10 days. This was the first reading. Second reading should take you about anywhere between 5 to 6 days. So the idea is to actually take only 50% of the time that you took in your first reading. But for chapters like forex and derivative, होता ये है कि sums इतने सारे हैं and आप sums cut नहीं कर पाते हो beyond an extent because you feel all the sums are either important or you are making multiple mistakes. ये मेरे साथ भी हुआ था. So not necessary कि आपका 50% time ही जाएगा the next time you do these particular chapters. In that case, there should be a buffer of 1 day, so that way you can probably take the 6th day as well. So next reading anywhere between 5 to 6 days is something which is ideal. The third reading or the second revision, as I would frame it, should be about 3 days. Again, 50% of what the time that you took in your second reading. And obviously, 3 days would convert to 1.5 days before exam. So the idea is to have 50% of learning curve for every single reading that you do. This is the time that you're supposed to take for the subject of SFM. SFM relatively is a smaller subject when you compare it to subjects like FR or IDT or DT. So that way, it is easier to complete this subject. The whole idea in this subject is to actually have that conceptual clarity. That is the main thing over here. Once you have that conceptual clarity, SFM comparatively becomes easy, comparatively. Now, talking about the resources, the second part of this video, that is the resources you should be using. Number one, in our attempt, before the modules were released for our attempt, that is for May 21, before the modules were released, the previous module had very less sums, hardly any sums, right? So in my case, I had referred the relevant sums from the old course PM, right? Now, in the new course SM, a lot of sums have been incorporated already, which was not the case earlier, from the old course PM again. So for example, I could probably frame it this way. If there are probably 50 sums in old course PM, there would be anywhere between 40 to 45 sums in the new course SM. So in this case, and it is not going to be the vice versa. Vice versa is not going to be true. ऐसा ideally speaking नहीं होगा कि PM में कोई sum नहीं है जो new course की SM में दिया हुआ है, unless that sum is from RTP or MTP. That's a whole different thing. So I will suggest you to go for the old course PM relevant sums. Because that will be more exhaustive as compared to the new SM. Any which ways the sums are the same. If you notice, the sums are going to be the same because new course SM has picked up the sums from the old course PM itself. So आप old course PM कर सकते हो. And for your mental satisfaction, once you have done the old course PM, you can go through all the sums of new SM just to make sure that you have not missed out on anything. Right. हम ये भी करते थे that we used to divide the chapters amongst friends. For example, I'll take up one chapter and my responsibility would be to compare the new SM and the old course PM just to make sure that there is no sum that is getting missed out. That is the same thing that you guys can do. बहुत simple है. You take two devices, दोनों में एक PDF download कर लो and simply search the sums. कोई भी, for example, it is XYZ Limited. तो आप XYZ Limited करके you can search in the other PDF. If the sum XYZ Limited का SM में sum है, XYZ Limited आप वो PM में sum search कर सकते हो, just to make sure if that is getting covered in PM. And each chapter should not take you more than 15-20 minutes to do that comparison, but it's worth it because you'll have that mental satisfaction that you've done that exhaustive coverage. So I'll suggest you to do the old course PM, all the relevant sums. You'll come to know easily whatever are the relevant sums. Still, I will share in the description the link of the old course PM that I used with the relevant sums already ticked around. So you can resort to that old course PM, simply take a printout and that will be very helpful, right? So this is supposed to be your Bible, your Gita, your holy book. Keep that as the base, the old course PM, or you may alternatively go for the new course SM as well, right? Now, what apart from this is supposed to be done? For theory, I had referred to Bhavik Choksi sir's PDF. In fact, Bhavik Choksi sir has also shared a 4-hour video explaining probably almost all the questions from the PDF that he had shared, which is very helpful to me, at least for revising the theory. So I will drop in the description the links of both the particular video and the link of the particular PDF that I referred for theory as well, which I felt was very useful. And while it is not completely exhaustive, because SFM there is a lot of theory even for practical chapters like Forex or portfolio and all, but not necessary that all that theory is supposed to be done. Talking about theory, in fact, for most of you guys would already know it, but still let me put it out clearly. Theory ke liye, securitization, startup finance, Chapter 1 and Chapter 2, that is risk management. So these 4 chapters are the most important from theory viewpoint. Matlab, it is almost guaranteed that out of the 5 theory questions that you're supposed to be answered in exam, 5 at max, at least three of them will be from these four chapters. At least three is what I can say for sure. So theoretically, these four chapters are supposed to be done very thoroughly, cannot be ignored. The rest chapters can be done basis your risk-taking ability, if I can put it that way, right? This is so far as theory was concerned. I refer to Bhavik Chakshi sir's PDF. Now, apart from that, so November 20 and Jan 21 papers were tough. After that, there was a lot of hype around SFM paper, and a lot of people felt that the SFM paper, I mean, had that phobia towards going for the SFM exam. The point is, post that, a lot of people thought of referring to XYZ new sources, which were probably non-ICI sources as well. Now, the point is, my personal take on these sources is, I will suggest you not to refer any source that is non-ICI so far as SFM is concerned, because even in the ICI material, there is a plethora of sums that have been given. And for even the tough papers, if you see either the November 20 paper or the Jan 21 papers, more than 50% of the sums or more than 50% of the marks for those assigned to those sums are from the ICI materials only. And when I say ICI materials, I obviously include the old course PM and the RTPs and the MTPs, etc. So when there's almost a surety in your head that more than 50% will be certainly asked. I mean, in an ideal scenario, probably an average of 70 marks, 80 marks is always asked from the ICI materials itself. The point is, for those 20 marks, what all can you cover? I mean, there's no end to it. So beyond an extent, there has to be a stop. You have to focus on the ICI materials only and try to get the conceptual clarity, which will help you to solve those 20-30 marks. For those 20-30 marks, you cannot go on solving XYZ sources because आपको पता भी नहीं उस source में से ICI पूछेगा कि नहीं. What are the assumptions that ICI is going to take? So the ideal approach, in my viewpoint, is to have an exhaustive coverage of all the ICI materials and gain that conceptual knowledge, which will help you to probably solve those 20-30 marks of the new sums that are being new concepts or new sums that are being tested in the exam. So my personal take would be, if for example the breakup between the ICI material sums and the non-ICI sums in the exam is, for example, 70-30, I would ask you to focus on those 70 marks first. Probably try and get 70 on 70, or if not, at least 65 on 70. And out of those 30 marks, if you have a good conceptual knowledge, probably you can end up getting at least 10 out of those 30. So 65 and 10 would still mean 75 out of 100, even if in a relatively tough paper where 30 marks is something that is out of non-ICI sources. So my personal take would be to focus completely on ICI sources and try and achieve those 75 marks instead of probably focusing on those 20 out of 30 marks that you won't be able to get. So 75 would still be a great score in a tough paper. That is what my personal take would be. But still, in terms of what else should be done apart from the theory booklet or the old course PM that I suggested. So 2-3 things for sure. Go through all the previous attempts MTP. All the previous attempts MTP. When I say this, I mean to say all the MTPs and in fact RTPs as well. More importantly, RTPs from May 18 till your attempt. So if your attempt is till May 22, then all the RTPs till the attempt of May 22. Right, all the RTPs and all the MTPs of not just the new course, but also the old course, because SFM has almost the same course between the old and the new course, right? So even those sums that are there in the old course RTPs and MTPs are certainly relevant for the new course students as well, right? Also go through all the past papers ranging from May 18 till your particular attempt for both old and the new course. Now you will see there is a lot of overlapping between the RTPs, MTPs for the old course, new course, and the past papers as well. So in the first reading, your task is to actually filter out the duplication and to keep only those sums which are unique, which will, I mean, bring down the number to maybe just probably 20-30 sums across all of these sources that I mentioned, RTPs, MTPs, and the past papers for both old and new course, right from May 18 till your attempt, say for example, May 22. So like I said, I mean, summarizing, so you need to refer to three materials. That is, one is either the old course PM or the new course SM, that is for the sums. For the theory, refer to, I mean, you may refer to the SM as well. You may certainly do that. But what I had referred to is Bhavik Chakshi sir's theory compilation and his video as well. And the third is obviously all the RTPs, MTPs, and past papers right from May 18 for both the old and the new course till your attempt, I mean, whatever the attempt is, May 22 and onwards, right? So these are all the ICI sources. Do make sure that to fare well in SFM, you don't miss out on any ICAI source. Right now, coming to the final and the main part, a few pro tips that I would like to give you all, which will help you score good marks in SFM even in a tough paper. So first things first, obviously there is a total dire need of there being a conceptual clarity in the subject of SFM, because chapters like forex and derivative you cannot do without conceptual clarity. If you have that conceptual clarity, chapters like forex and derivative would become very easy for you. It's obviously a nightmare for you as well if you don't have that conceptual clarity. So first things first, conceptual clarity. Second is I will suggest that in your first reading, make your self notes. So I'm not saying self notes for the purpose of theory, but a self notes for the purpose of conceptual understanding. So I mean there are different types of sums, right? So you make your self notes in terms of किस sum में क्या करना है. आप steps लिख सकते हो. For example, I found forex sums to be a little difficult. I mean they were not difficult. I will say they were very probably prone to mistakes, right? So I used to commit a lot of mistakes. Either कभी divide का multiply हो गया, या फिर कभी ask rate की जगह bit rate ले लिया, और vice versa. So that used to happen a lot of times when you solve sums. So probably I used to write down steps and the checkpoints. कभी कभी ये होता है कि forex के sums में आप commission भूल गए. So I used to write those checkpoints के check for the probably the ask rate or the bid rate. Check whether to multiply or divide, for example. Check whether there's a commission given in the question, right? So check for the cross rates or anything, I mean, for that matter. So I used to write those checkpoints. So this is an example of the self notes that I made for myself specifically for the chapter of forex. So I used to do that probably all the concepts so far as the sums are concerned placed at one. So I had made like 50 odd pages of self notes, which were very exhaustive. So every time I used to probably pick up one chapter in every subsequent reading, that is for the second reading, third reading, and even the day before exam. I used to first go through those self notes. I mean, chapter wise. For example, each chapter would be 10, 12 pages, right? So notebook pages, handwritten. So those 10, 12 pages, पढ़ने के बाद, now I have a good command. I mean, in summary, I have a good command over the chapter. Now I will straight away jump to the sum. So making your own self notes so far as the concepts are concerned is something that I will strongly suggest you, because SFM has a number of sums which majority of them are supposed to be covered the day before exam. So this will make your task easier. So even if you're not able to cover all the sums, at least you have covered the concepts. So that makes your task easier. So make your self notes in the first reading itself, which will be useful to you in all the subsequent readings. Third is in fact, try to write and solve sums as much as possible. So I know writing and solving sums in the second or the third reading or the day before exam is going to be very difficult or almost impossible. But at least in the first reading, you should write each and every sum. I'm very much emphasizing on this. And for those particular sums that are very difficult, I mean, when I say not difficult, I don't really mean they're just difficult, but either they are frequently asked or they are prone to mistakes. You commit frequent mistakes in those sums. So what I used to do is I used to write probably W besides those sums. And for all those sums wherein I have it written W, even the day before exams, I wrote and solved those sums. When I say I wrote, I don't mean I wrote it पूरा अच्छे से fair में, but at least the figures, मतलब rough में भी I wrote it and practiced instead of just auditing. Because when you audit, right, you won't come to know about the mistakes that you'll probably commit. And for chapters like forex and derivative, it is extremely important to write and practice those sums. In fact, if you don't even write and just practice on the calci, that will not help, because मेरे साथ ये बहुत होता था, मैं सीधा calci पे करता था out of laziness, and then I used to commit a lot of mistakes, and then that used to lead to a lot of disappointment and phobia in my head that ये chapter मेरे को नहीं आता है, despite the fact that I actually had that command over the chapter if I probably wrote those sums. Because when you write those sums, you tend not to skip steps or tend not to make these silly mistakes of divide की जगह multiply or whatever. जबकि if you do it directly on the calci, it is highly possible that you miss out on small things, right? So लिख के practice करो. So the first was conceptual understanding, second is your self notes, and third is you write and solve sums at least in the first reading. And for subsequent readings, do write all those sums which are either very important or very difficult or prone to mistakes, right? These three things. Now fourth pro tip that I would like to give is, so what I did was in SFM there are a plethora of sums like I already mentioned, and you will have to certainly cut down on the certain sums. So I mean the strategy of cutting down is very much known to you. So all those probably two sums, if they are of similar type with just the difference in numbers, you'll keep just one and eliminate the other. If there is one sum that is more exhaustive than the other, मतलब दोनों sum का type same है but एक में commission दिया दूसरे में नहीं दिया, you will keep the one with the commission and you'll probably remove the other one, right? So that is something that is already known to you. Now there are a lot many sums that you feel यार probably day before exam नहीं करूँगा तो चलेगा, but second third reading में तो करना है. That is what I used to feel always. So I made a sign. So for me it was a circle and a dot in the circle. You can probably keep simple asterisk sign as well. So मैं क्या करता था, वो sign कर देता था उस question number के बाजू में, right? So once you do that sign, you know that this particular sum is supposed to be seen by me in the next reading, but not the day before exam, right? So there are a lot many sums that I used to do it this way. another thing that another approach that I followed was that for lot many sums, मतलब notebook में लिखे होते थे answers and you read a question from somewhere, right? So in case of if you've taken lectures and you've written the solutions in the notebook in the language that your faculty has made you write, right? So in that case होता ये है कि you have to refer multiple books, which takes up a lot of lead time. You know, it takes up a lot of time, and that is probably a waste time that I will. This non-value added time if I talk in terms of the SCMP terminology. But then, so how to eliminate that? So for lot many sums are very very straightforward, but there's just a catch, a small catch that you need to know that sum, and then once you get that catch, it is very easy to solve that sum. So in that case, I used to simply write down that catch besides the question only, and once you see that catch, फिर पूरा question देखने की जरूरत नहीं. This is obviously for the last two readings that so as to save your time. So एक बार catch पढ़ लिया, you need not probably see the entire solution. This is how you save time. And even if you save 30 seconds for each sum, it would translate to good time when we talk about 100, 200, 300, 500 sums, right? So you will have to adopt that approach. Maybe you can simply write down what mistake you make in this particular sum, so that the entire sum is probably easy and known to you, except for that one mistake that you always make. लिख दो उसको, so that every time it becomes easier and faster for you to solve those sums, right? So this is the fourth pro tip that I would like to give. So you can make probably a sign that I made, or probably write down the crux of the question besides the question itself, and filtering the questions is extremely important. So again, I'm not saying you skip any question. I certainly don't skip any question, but if there's two questions of the same kind, then you'll keep one and not keep the other. And in the subject of SFM, it is very much advisable to refer to most of the sums before the exam. So most of the unique sums, when I say most of the sums, I mean most of the unique sums. So I had kept somewhere around the number of 300 sums to see in the last 1.5 days before exam. And तब तक trust me, इतनी speed आपकी आ जाती है because उस टाइम पे आप एटलीस्ट फोर्थ टाइम वो सम देख रहे होंगे. तो चौथी बार अगर कोई सम देख रहे हो तो इट विल नॉट टेक यू एज मच टाइम एज इट वुड हैव टेकन यू इन द प्रीवियस टाइम. सो ट्राई टू कीप ऑल द यूनिक सम्स फॉर द डे बिफोर एग्जाम, बट व्हेन आई से यूनिक आई मीन ओनली वन ऑफ इट्स टाइप, राइट? So eliminate all the other, and then obviously ABC categorization, writing the crux or your mistake besides the question, all those things certainly you very well know about, right? But try to keep as many sums as possible for the unique sums for the day before exam, because you never know how it can, any sum can turn up in the exam, and if you've done it the day before exam, it can click you very easily, right? And for specifically for subjects like for chapters like international financial management, there have been always questions in my head too as to इतने बड़े-बड़े sums पूछेंगे कि नहीं. I mean, if you see illustration 1, 2, I believe there was some Park wala sum, Nepal wala sum, and there were a couple of questions that way. इतने बड़े questions I have not seen being asked in the exam because they are very very big sums, and ये sums में एक तो mistakes के chances भी बहुत ज्यादा, अगर आप करने जाओगे तो 1 घंटा निकल जाएगा, जिसके बाद भी you are not sure if the answer is true. तो अगर ये exam में पूछ भी लिया तो I don't know what is the possibility of us answering those questions. But instead of totally skipping those questions, it is advisable to understand the flow of the question, because while this bigger question might not be asked, the concepts can always be tested in smaller sums of the same types. International financial management पूछा जाता है, but in whatever sums are asked are not as big as probably illustration 1 or 2 that is given in the new essay, right? I guess that's pretty much it from my end, but reiterating on a few important points that you should keep in mind so far as the subject of SFM is concerned. Trust me, it is very manageable if you have that conceptual clarity. Don't be afraid of tough papers if you have covered ICS sources well. But for the same thing, you have to make sure that one, you have that conceptual clarity, and second, you cover ICS sources well. I have told you what all sources to cover. That is new SM/old PM. Theory notes, and third is all the ICI sources in terms of MTPs, RTPs, and past papers for both the old and the new course. Second, in terms of the pro tips, do remember that try and make self notes, self-understanding notes, or the concept notes for the sums for each chapter. That will help expedite the learning process and the revision process as well. Second, write and practice sums as much as possible. Third, keep a list. In fact, this is a very important point for the day before exam. Keep a list of all the sums that you're supposed to cover, all the sums for each chapter. All the sums that you have planned to cover, so that you don't miss out on a single concept, right? And beside each question number that you write in that list, you can write the category of that sum, whether it is A plus category or B category. I used to further, in fact, bifurcate ABC into A plus or probably B plus as well, depending on how tough or how important I found the question to be. So you can write the category as well besides those questions as well. Marking those questions well is very important. Making your self notes is very important, and having the conceptual clarity, writing the sums is very important. Do have that exhaustive coverage of all the ICI sources. Do make sure, and SFM will certainly be very easy for you. Right, so next is you to score 80 plus marks in SFM. All the very best, and do your best. Do share this video with your friends as well. Thanks a lot for watching. Stay tuned for more videos. Bye bye.